Right, focus. Sharp. Focus. Make fast. This woman has got to go put purple kisses all over her man. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shimange and this is How I Do Things, the show where you send me your questions and I'll let you know how I would do things. Now you can take it as advice, use it, don't use it, it is completely up to you. Now I don't know what it is, but I feel as though sometimes men are a little slow to the game. It's like they need a little push in the right direction, just a little, hey, Tsohaman, hey, I like you, text me. Have you ever felt like that? Like, you know, sometimes this man just needs a little nudge in the right direction. Now, this is still up for debate, but when it comes to me and my husband, I think I made the first move. But he also says that maybe he made the first move. The thing is, we baited each other. I baited him, he baited me. We liked each other, it just worked out. So the jury is still out on whether who made the first move. But this man is not a texter. I'm a texter and I liked him. He liked me. I was hoping he liked me. I wasn't sure if he liked me. I was getting out of a relationship. The applications for dumping that person, getting out of that relationship, I had applied, but they were still being processed. So it wasn't completely done processing. But applications were sent for that breakup. But on the other hand, I liked this guy. So I was just like, something needs to be going here, right? So during those single times, I was just like, okay, I need this conversation to start getting going. I like this guy and I need to know if he likes me too. So texting was a very, very important part of the process to get to where we are right now. All right? Did I throw the first text? I think so. If not, then I'm definitely one of the persons who are just propelling it that the text conversations must continue to go. But texting can seriously save your relationship. It can start a relationship. Just sliding into the DM and saying, hey baby, can be the beginning of an amazing relationship. Us, those people who are out there, sliding into the DMs actually works sometimes. But how do you do it? What do you say? How do you say it? You don't want to blow it up, you know, because men sometimes aren't the greatest texters. But when they're texting the right person and talking about the right things, they can go on forever. ... smiley face. So today's video, I'm going to show you 8 things that you should do when you are texting that guy that you like. So whether you are sliding into the DMs or WhatsApp or whatever you may be doing, you might be using your own, 35 cents to be sending an SMS or whatever it is, here are a few tips to make sure that those texts go down really, really well. Now, if you have any questions or scenarios that you want me to answer in the next video, head over to my Instagram at Shimange and look for this picture right here. Reply and let me know which question or scenario you'd like me to talk about in our next video. But for this one, let's get into those 8 things that you need to think about, consider, and do if you want to win at this texting game. Number 1. Yes, it is okay to be the first one to text. Listen, honey girl, if you don't slide into that DM, if you don't send that message, if you don't send that WhatsApp, you may be too late. You may WhatsApp that person 1 month too late. I'm telling you right now, it happens that you bump into somebody who says, you know, I had texted you, but you're already in a relationship. It's happened to me. It can happen to you. You could try to text somebody and already that man has been snatched up because you were 7 days too late. Huh? It's fine, boo. Text him first. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You can make him feel like he's taking the lead a little later on. But sometimes you just need to be the one to just set the spark, just light the match. Just that's all the relationship needs. But you need to keep within the rules that are coming up next, or else that texting is just, you're going to land and you're going to bomb. You're just going to land there and it's just going to be a disaster. So follow the next 7 steps carefully. Number 2, you want to text with a purpose. Gone are the days of hi. It's very difficult to respond to a hi. When you get a hi, you also just say hi. Now where do we go from here? Please tell me, where do we go from here? A hi is very awkward. Hi. Hi. No. When you want to text a guy, you want to text with a purpose, right? So if you are just looking for that opportunity and you're on Instagram, right, and you like this guy and you guys chat in the comment section and you just want to find out, how do I actually slide into the DMs properly? How do I drop the first text on this guy that maybe we are friends, I want to move it into the next direction? What is the first words that I'm supposed to say? You need to have a purpose. So if you know that maybe he's had an interesting event or a meeting happening today and he may have told you about it, drop a text about that and say, hey, wasn't today that meeting of yours? How did it go? And then that sparks the conversation. If he's posted something on social media, look for that one opportunity. Just lurk in the background, just looking at the pictures. Post a picture today, you think to yourself, is this a good one to text about? No, it's a bit awkward. Look for the next picture. Is this an interesting picture? One thing you don't want to do is go back into his history and then all of a sudden just respond to this picture. Now you are just searching for reasons. Wait for the next or the right opportunity to text about something with purpose. So you don't just want to just get in there with just a hi, because it will probably end up nowhere and it's really awkward. Text with a purpose. What do you want to talk about? Is there something specific that he has done that you may want to ask him about? Because that's a really good way to start the conversation and to get it rolling. Number 3 is to have a purpose in your life. The last thing you want to do is just be looking for attention or looking for entertainment from him. You don't want to look bored. You need to have a purpose in your life. And just as dating advice, when you like a guy, you don't want to completely have no other purpose, no other fascination, nothing else that's occupying you or interesting you at the same time. Because what will happen is that you'll think only about this guy, occupy yourself completely with this guy, and then next thing you blow it up because you are overthinking it and you're only thinking about this person. Find something to have a purpose for. If you don't have a purpose, find it. If you don't have a hobby, find it, so you can occupy yourself with that thing. But more importantly, during your texting, you want to show that you have a life. You have things that you're getting up to. So if you're in lockdown and you're bored, find something that you're interested in. Find a hobby, find a piece of interesting conversation. Take a challenge for reading a book. Find a purpose so that he knows that this girl actually has something going on in her life. Men still like to catch women on the move. So if you just seem like you're stagnant, then the interest starts to die down. Be a woman on the move, a woman with a purpose. It's good for him to see that you're on the move, but it's also good for you so you don't completely obsess over this guy. Number 4 is that you want to ask him questions, but not just any question. You don't just pop up out of the blue with a really random, nonsensical question. Like he's wearing a red shirt on social media. It's like, red shirt, cool, weird. Have questions that are related to what he is interested in. Seem interested in him. A lot of the times as women, when we text, we tend to try and revert the conversation back to us, what we like, what we're interested in, but try and turn the tables. Because when you seem like you are interested in what it is that he's doing and what he's doing his time and how he's spending his time, it makes the conversation last a little longer. So start the conversation by asking him about things that he is interested in. That way the conversation has a possibility of returning in your direction as well. You also want to ask open-ended questions. You don't want to just say, hey, did you go to that meeting? Yes. Done. That's the end of the conversation. Now we are stuck. Ugh. You want to ask open-ended question, meaning that it's not just a yes or no question. It's a question that basically says that I need details. Give me details. So instead of saying, did you go to that meeting? Say, wasn't that meeting today? How did it go? So he can say yes or no and also give you the details of how it went. That's a good way to get the conversation going. You don't want to have a yes or a no or an in or an out or later today type of question. You want to have him search a little bit for more details and give you more of the juicy stuff. Number 5, get your timing right. Now you don't want to respond immediately to every single question and every single text. You want to see how the timing is going. Now when you start a conversation, you may send the first text and you may wait about 15 minutes because men are busy, right? So it's okay. It's okay. Send it. It's fine. We're not freaking out. We're not timing it. We are living our lives because we have purposes and hobbies because we're busy. You know what I mean? So if he takes some time to respond, then you know it's a casual conversation and you take it as casually as well. Give it about 5, 10, 15 minutes between the questions or the text to show that you know there's a little bit of a flow and to show that there is something that you are busy with. But you may strike gold and get to a point where you guys are texting back and forth immediately with each other. Learn to take the signals. What I like to do is do a like for like type of situation. If he's going to take 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to take 5 to 10 minutes, round about the same as well. If he's responding immediately, then I'll start responding immediately. And a big rule is that don't send 2 texts in a row at the same time. So how this works is that if he has texted you and you have responded, but he doesn't respond for the next hour or 2, let it sit. Wait for the next day. You don't want to seem as though, you know, you're calling him up and be like, hey, remember our conversation? Come back. Let it sit a little bit. If he hasn't responded to you, give him a bit of time to respond. Even if it does take a full day, you just want to know where the man is at and see how his actions are. So don't act too desperate with your texts, trying to get his attention back after you've lost it during the day. If he hasn't responded for the rest of the day, go to sleep. Let it sleep. You need to let the extra text sleep. Don't make too many in a row because then it just comes across as quite desperate and it comes across like you're bored and you have absolutely nothing else to do with your time. Number 6 is to be witty. Now here's the thing. As girls, we're not really sure if we're funny, right? And this whole wit thing, there's certain people who are just good at being witty. I feel like Anne Lemdot is like the #1 person. If you need some tips on how do I do this wit thing, you know, how do I do this funny with a hint of cheek? I don't know how that thing works, but my go-to when I want to have a little bit of wit and a little bit of funniness into it is to use the right emojis. You don't want to overkill it with emojis, but use the right hint of emojis every now and again. These are my go-to guys. This guy and this guy, oh, my favorites. The reason why is because this guy sends you a wink to kind of let you know that I think I'm joking or I'm being a bit naughty. This guy over here is also that I'm being naughty, nudge nudge. Emojis are almost like a script telling you that this emoji means I just laughed, so you should laugh back. And this emoji lets you know that I'm not being serious, I'm actually being funny. Those emojis kind of help you to set the tone. Sometimes when you're sending text, you don't really know, is this person laughing? Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they, I don't know what mood they're in. So dropping an emoji every now and then helps the person to know what type of mood that you're in. And especially if you don't know how to be funny or to be witty, this guy and this guy are your best friends. Number 7 is to be flirty, but to leave something to the imagination. Now we need to draw a line here, guys, because flirty sometimes may lead to a place we don't want to take it. The same way that you don't want him to send him a picture of your tsubilingi, you do not want to be sending him pictures of other things that are just too fast, too soon. Draw it back. So flirtiness means that there's still something that you're leaving to their imagination. So you don't want to be blunt about certain things, saying, ooh, I want you now. No. You can allude to it or hint at it, and that is what flirting is. So flirting is almost like a short skirt. It covers up enough, but it lets you know that there's something more to see. But the difference between a short skirt is that you're not naked, right? So flirting is the same way. You want to reveal a little bit of something without showing off the whole situation. So flirt. Let him know that, you'd be having more fun if I was around. Wink. Flirting to say that maybe you should have invited me. And if you invite me, I'd say yes. That's what that sentence means. So have a little bit of fun with it. If you're meaning to say that, oh, I really like you, and you don't know how to say it because you're waiting for him to say it first, is say things such as, I wouldn't mind you. You know what I mean? I remember I threw a line such as, you know, I'd be good for you. I'm good stock. Yes, that's the line that I used. I once told my husband that I was good stock. And that was me just basically saying that you should try me if you are interested. And those were the times when I was still single. So the whole point of flirting is to hint at something, to allude to something, but not to say it completely directly. So have a bit of fun. Throw a bit of whims in there. And it's going to be really nice. And he's going to have a little bit of an inkling. Not sure, but he's going to have an idea that I think this girl likes me. And number 8, do not be shy to explore your standards. Now, the nice thing about texting is that you can actually say things that you may be too shy or too scared to say face to face. There may be an opportunity for you to show that, listen, I do like you, but I do have my standards, without having to shove them down somebody's throat. You know, sometimes you may just be like, oh, I'm not the type to do this. And it just sounds really harsh and it comes across just like, you know, quite abrasive. But the nice thing about texting and keeping it a little bit witty is that you can have an opportunity to show that, I don't do that, but maybe let's try this. Let's just say you're texting him in the middle of the night. 1:30 at the middle of the night, the sun has gone down, it's already early morning. During that time, it's kind of dodge where we don't know if it's nighttime or morning time. And you guys are texting and he says, hey, let me come over. Now here is the thing. You don't want it to be a booty call because during that time of the night is a bit dodgy, right? It can go into those, and who also visits at that time of the night? So this is an opportunity for you to actually set your standards, but to also have an opportunity to set him up for another time to visit. So you can say something like, don't really do visits during booty call night shift, but maybe we can do the afternoon if you're keen. See? So you're giving him your standards, but at the same time, you're leaving a possibility for him to come through a little later. You want to set up your standards, yes. And you want to make sure that if you're texting a guy who's just full of nonsense, you know where to drop him off and you know where to show him the exit. But at the same time, if it's somebody that you really do like, then you want to show him that, you know what, I am keen for a visit, but during respectable times. And that's how it will work for me. Now, when it comes to texting, it can get a little dodgy. You're not really sure if you should step over that line, yes or no. You're not really sure if you're flirting, if you're going too far, and if you're setting your standards. But I hope that these 8 steps help you to take that first move because you don't know where it will go. Now, if you have any suggestions on what you should do when you text, leave them down in the comment section down below. And if you're thinking of sliding into the DM, let a girl know. Let's get the conversation going and maybe I'll help you out with a few tips and tricks here and there. Now, these are the things that worked for me when I was texting first to the man. It worked out well, but it's also an opportunity for you to know, is he worth it or is he somebody that you should just kick to the curb? Now, that's it for this show today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm Shimange and this is How I Do Things. One of the things that keeps me going, that keeps me motivated and knowing that I'm serving my purpose in life is helping women to earn income and take control of their lives. If you are an ambitious young woman who wants to build a business, become an influencer or a personal brand and a thought leader in your industry, then you should definitely join Club She Is, the network for women who want to take control of their lives and earn income their way. A network filled with women, a sisterhood supporting each other to build the brands and businesses that will change our lives. If you want to know more about it, head over to clubsheis.com to download the annual planner to start planning your success today. I'll email you back, tell you all about the club and how you can get involved.